My name is Bruce Holstead. I'm the Executive Director of Fresh Start Recovery. I'm 27 years clean. Actually, March 29th this month, I'll be 28 years in recovery and completely abstinent. I stop and I think about that pathway and where we came from and how we got here. And, I said to friends, it seems like a lifetime ago, and other times it's just like yesterday that it was there. And I think that speaks volumes to addiction in itself. I come from a good middle-class family. My dad was in the Army. He was a good provider that we didn't go without. They worked hard to buy a home in southwest Calgary, and somewhere things just kind of fell apart. And I was about 11 years old. I started using narcotics. We found my buddy's mom's pot hidden on top of the fridge, and it started there. And randomly using turned into kind of weekend using, and weekend using turned into regular using, and by the age of 15 I was an IV drug user. When it came to drugs, I couldn't make a choice. I couldn't make an effective decision for myself. I would go to the drug house with my rent money in one pocket, my using money in the other pocket, knowing very well I was coming out broke anyway, but I would still do it, arguing with myself before opening the door, saying, no, you can't do it this time. You got to pay the rent, man. You're going to be homeless, pay the rent. And no, I can't. I'm going in. Lying to myself that there's going to be a way out. I'll figure it out later, And the screaming sensation that occurs with addiction, it's beyond control. At that moment, what do I need? I need a pair of handcuffs, man. I need somebody to stop me in that moment from making this bad decision. I talked to countless parents, mothers, wives, individuals just desperate to find an answer to save their loved ones, right? They're grieving individuals that are still walking. And there's not a lot for them to turn to at this point. It's a double win in some essence, that at least families and loved ones have an opportunity to begin a pathway that was not available to them prior. It's one more tool in a very complex system to be able to address and provide to individuals for another opportunity to force that powerful stop. It's another tool that bridges and builds additional hope in families that they feel like they have a chance. I'm sure my parents didn't, tout the idea that we're raising this child to be a drug addict. I didn't aspire to be a drug addict. A chain of events happened in my life that I arrived at being a drug addict. And a series of interventions occurred along the way that made me stop. It was a combination of court, it was a combination of death, it was a combination of morals that still hadn't got lost completely that was able to get me. But there's countless days, months, years in which none of that mattered. That if somebody could have stopped me just for a moment, maybe the clarity would have returned and I could have made a difference. So, the long picture is, I can't tell who's going to make it. All we can do is keep trying.